listening to Mr. Allard's Neighborhood. Small town feel with big time ideas. After all, you are entitled to Brad's opinion. Here's your host, Brad Allard.
Well, here we are, a little closer to Mike. It's a little wobbly today. Anyway, another great week. I have Collin Gregory on from the Burleson BPD. He's going to tell us all about this gift card scam. And he brought with him Detective...
My name is Detective Madison Marston.
Okay, you got to be kind of close to the mic.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
You can move around.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay, well, hello.
All right, yeah, Madison Marston. This is our first
Yes.
podcast. Y'all be nice out there. Anyway, you're the lead detective on this scam, right? So
I am.
you're going to tell us how you busted it and how, people are getting scammed by all these gift cards and whatnot.
Yes.
Apparently it made national news, according to Collin.
Hey, we're all over the place.
Yeah,
Yes.
it will be.
Usually the only two things Burleson gets on the air for is either Kelly Clarkson or some stupid thing we did, something like that. I remember a few years ago when I was teaching school, we got on national news about a yearbook controversy, and I'm thinking, wow, it is a slow news day, but whatnot. Anyway, Taylor, how was your weekend?
Fantastic.
Yeah, you're going to be jetting around a bunch. Aren't you going out of town again this week?
Yep, I'll be out Thursday through Saturday.
Yeah, we'll have a guest pinch hitter in your spot. Is Josh again, right?
Yep.
That's good. Well,
Yeah.
anyway, before we get into how these people are ripping us off and how Burleson PD is hunting them down with dogs and heavy machinery.
Dog.
Dog.
Singular.
Singular.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
with a dog.
We have the one dog.
What do you have? So you have a gift card sniffing dog? Is that it?
I mean,
yeah.
That's what do you think we use your tax dollars for?
Donuts? I don't know.
You've seen our break room. Gotcha.
Yes. Yeah.
Anyway, thank you to our sponsors. Our Place with Otto, also with Gina's Pizza as well. Have you been to Our Place before?
I have. It's really good.
Every police officer in this area of the county and Tarrant County goes to Our Place. Every time I go there every other Thursday morning with some guys from my Sunday school class, and sometimes I go there just on my own. I always see officers of the law there.
It's just too good.
Too good.
It's too good to miss.
Well, yeah, I don't know if there's a special deal for them or not, but I think they just know where to go.
Yeah.
It's good food.
Eat where the cops eat.
Oh, yeah. And happy birthday, Otto, by the way.
Yeah, it is his birthday. It's kind of sobering. I'm older than he is. I said, no, I'm older than about everybody, it seems like. All right, thank you for all you do, Otto. Also, thank you to Wild Cigar. Now, you look like a cigar smoker.
No. I have been to Wild, and I do like that place, but I actually don't smoke cigars.
Yeah, I know, but you know people that do, and then
Yes, of course,
there's
yeah.
gift cards, and there's the bar and all that, and it's always a nice place.
Yes.
I'll be visiting with them tomorrow. I usually go by once or twice a month just to hang out and see what's going on. They got a bunch of cigar specials. They got a lot of vendors coming in the summer. They have usually at least 2 or 3 per month on the weekends. These national cigar vendors will come through for, events and specials and whatever else. And also they have drink specials on Monday and Wednesday and Friday. So check it out. But you've been to Wild. It's a good place, right?
It's really nice. I really like it. Yeah.
Yeah, they've really done a good job with it. Also, for friends at Southern Gym, over at the jewelry store. Have you been in here?
I have not.
No, okay, you need to go there if you need jewelry for any reason.
Yes.
Anyway, they had a real good sale going on about 2 weeks ago, and they have a lot of good specials. And then it sounds silly, but Christmas is coming up. A lot of people.
It's right around the corner.
Well, Gayla will tell you that a lot of people will buy their jewelry, August and September, so they get that out of the way, and so they're not rushing in and buying it, on December 23rd or something like that. You don't want to be caught trying to find something at the last minute. I know.
Wait,
I've done
that's
that.
not recommended?
That's not recommended.
Okay, well,
No,
I've
no.
messed up the last 22 years of my life.
Yes, you
so.
have. No, but the last 22 years. I saw your wife on there. She's very pretty.
She is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did pretty good.
Yeah, you did good. You must have said, I'm going to be a cop and make money.
I outkicked my coverage. I
Yeah,
definitely
that's what
did
they
that.
tell me all the time. Also, thank you to our friends over at Two Maids. Brenda Ramirez will help you with your cleaning needs. TwoMaidsCleaning.com/Burleson, 817-764-0733. They got all sorts of programs and plans for you, once a week, twice a month, whatever fits your budget and your schedule. And their ladies get paid based on the ratings that you give them, so they're motivated, you might say. They also do commercial work as well. They do the Windmiller building, for example. Also, thank you to our friends over at Old Pro. John Williams, come check your roof out. Good time to do it. I heard It may rain again in 2027. So, yeah. Well, this is a good time to do it because you don't want to find out when it's raining that you need a new roof. And he'll come and tell you what the story is. So call him at 817-734-2756. He came out 2 weeks ago, checked my roof, said I was good to go. So, it's a good thing to know. When also, there's another thing he would also have you know that if you delay getting repairs done on your roof too long, the insurance companies will say, sorry, Jack. Not your Jack, but
It's your Jack.
Yeah. They'll say sorry. We'll put you in this particular file, the SOL file. Surely out of luck. All right, certainly out of luck file. And so, if you have damage, you need to take care of it within 365 days. All right.
Didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, well, we all belong to a networking group. Not all of us, but he does, and Brenda does, and Gayla does, and so we talk about our businesses, and we learn about other businesses quite a bit. Also, thank you to Jeff Kelly, Real Estate at the Withington Agency, 817-781-0546. 817-720-6300 is the office number, but you're better off with the cell. Also, Jeff at jeffkellyrealty.com. He put out some property in Alvarado is for sale. He put it out on Facebook, and I shared it with you. So he's got lots going on. Okay.
Good.
Ms. Madison, let's talk about you for a moment.
Yes.
How long you been with the Burleson PD?
It'll be 4 years in November.
4 blessed years.
Yes.
So you don't mind working for Billy, huh?
No, I love it. I love him. He's great.
Now, you said you came from Arlington PD before?
Yeah, Arlington, UTA PD. So, but I was in the city of Arlington.
UTA PD, really?
Yes.
Well, that's where I got my master's degree and also my teaching certification there and all that. So
It's a good school.
Well,
It's
it is a very good school. Of course, I was there 40 years ago.
Yeah.
But it was a Burleson teacher. We sent a lot of kids.
Okay.
To UTA, and I spent time on campuses with tours with students, and it's a whole lot different than when back in the 80s. Back then, had zero campus life. I mean, the only students that lived on campus were foreign students.
Yeah.
And now you have a fairly considerable number that live either on campus or within walking distance of it.
Yes, sir.
And that was your job, huh? To keep the noise down and make sure they no underage shenanigans and all that stuff.
Amongst other things.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So what brought you to Burleson?
My family is originally from Burleson.
Really?
Yes. So I heard that Burleson Police Department was hiring, and I said, where do I sign up?
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
And so you start off just a shift cop, and now you're a detective?
I am.
All right. So you're moving up the ladder.
I hope so. Yes.
Yeah,
very quickly.
Yes.
Well, I hope you stick around because, a lot of times when you make detective, a lot of other departments start saying, hey, come over here and we'll pay you a few more bucks. So I hope we keep you around. It's a good place to live. It's a good place to raise a family if that's your intention soon.
Yes. Well, I've always told Chief that I'm a Burleson lifer, so he doesn't have to worry about any of that.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Yes.
Let's hope so. So on to the gift card scam. I did not know there was a scam going on until I saw one of Collin's posts.
Well, neither did I until I got thrown into this little mix.
Well, Collin, how did you come across this?
Well, so the gift card scam thing is national. It's just not something that happened in Burleson, but it was brought to Burleson. Really, honestly, we really didn't have a whole lot of understanding of what was going on. But when we had a vehicle that was registered onto a flock camera. Now, kind of take a sidebar here. So there is a camera system out of Georgia, a company called Flock. And they set up cameras. They have a ton in the Dallas area, and they're kind of starting to move a little bit more west into Fort Worth, but they're national. And these are license plate readers. And so as your vehicle's driving past with the cameras, it registers your license plate, takes a look at it, throws a hit on it. If you're clean, I mean, you just go about. But there are certain license plates that are sent out there that have hits on them. And a couple of days prior, a licensed vehicle was seen leaving a Home Depot up north, and they put it into the Flock system because this vehicle is suspicious of possibly doing this credit card or this gift card scam. And we got a hit on it in Fort Worth, and it was coming towards Burleson. And when that happened, we have a tech that is up in the real-time crime center in Fort Worth. He's temporary assigned duty is to the Fort Worth Crime Center. So when that happened, they said, hey, he's coming into Burleson. He got on the hook with our guys and said, hey, be looking for this vehicle. It's coming in. He was able to use flock cameras and follow this vehicle through the camera system all the way over to the target. And I'll let Detective Madison kind of fill you in on how all of this transpired. But essentially, these camera systems, which we're trying to implement more of these into Burleson, was the first line of defense. It saw these guys coming in from a mile away, for use of the term. And it was able to register that license plate and be able to pinpoint these guys as they were coming into Burleson. So they come in, they go into Target, and the scam is that you take a ton of these gift cards that you find on the shelves, and they would take them, they'd stick them in their pockets, and they'd walk out. Another guy will come back at a certain point or at the same time, and he'll take the same gift cards that are blank and put them right back on the shelf. Now, if you're seeing this, you're probably just thinking, okay, this is kind of weird. There's a lot of that's a lot of gift cards to take, and even if they're stealing them, there's zero value to them whatsoever.
I was thinking, if I walked out with a bunch of gift cards from, the HEB sells gift cards, Sam's does. If I walk out with a bunch of gift cards, they got no value on them.
Absolutely. So you wouldn't even think, if you're an employee that's dealing with, you're trying to figure out shoplifting of actual items. Somebody takes a plastic gift card that has zero value on it, sticks in their pocket, and walks out of the store. You probably just roll your eyes. You may even laugh at them, the fact that they did something that stupid, because they probably thought, oh, that person thinks there's money on that, and there's not. What has happened, though, is these gift cards are being taken in mass quantity, and then they are shipped off to another entity, and they're using some of the ways they're using this is like either industrial heaters or steamers to loosen up the glue that's on the cardboard casing of these and slide out the gift card without damaging the casing. From that, you got that scratch off on the back. So when you get a gift card and it's $50 from Target, there's a little scratch off on the back. You scratch the back of it. It's got a little code, a little PIN number, and you're able to use that PIN number to get the cash from that. Visa gift card, Target gift card, whatever it may be. What the bad guys are doing is they're scratching these things off. They're taking that number and they're putting it into a computer system, and a bot is constantly pinging that PIN number. They're able to buy those scratch offs online, and they just replace it on there. They put it back in the packaging. They reseal it as if it was never tampered with, and then they send that back in the hundreds. And Taylor, I think you got a picture of these gift cards. So this is what our crews intercepted on that day. And again, Detective Marston will fill you in a little bit more on how all this went down. But these are all tampered with gift cards. So to the naked eye, you're looking at this, you're pulling one of these off the shelf. You have no clue the fact that this thing has been tampered with. So the moment you go and you put cash on this, that PIN number that's in the back is being pinged by that bot constantly over and over and over. So the moment that you scan that at the register and you put $50 on it, it pings that PIN number, and there goes your $50.
And then you go take that card and they say, hey, this card's got no value on it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so see, when I was thinking about this, I thought basically it was people that were manufacturing bogus gift cards and then using them at the store.
No.
Okay, so they're using the actual cards.
They are.
So when they dumped this on your desk, did you have any experience in this?
Nope. No, I did not. But I'm glad that it did come to me, because it's just another tool that I have on my belt. Hey, I do have experience in this. And I do know how to handle this situation coming from now until the end of my career, as well as, helping my family, the citizens of Burleson, or just nationally. People don't know about this. I didn't know about this.
Like I said, I always just thought they were bogus cards, not legitimate cards that have been tampered with. And
so like Collin was saying, most of the time they work in groups of two. And so when they did go into this particular target, we've identified them as Chinese nationals. So one of the Chinese nationals came into Target to steal the gift cards that had not been tampered with, so you say. And then the other Chinese nationalist was going in to put stuff that he had already had, that the gift cards had already been altered or tampered with, to be put back on the shelf so they didn't look like anything was missing. That's interesting, though. But I also thought maybe this gift card scam was that they were stealing these cards and then finding a way to put some sort of value on it and then take it back and buy $50 worth of stuff at Target. No. So it's all cash they're taking. Well, so when they steal the gift cards, so our particular incident was they were shipping them back to California. We don't have a specific address, so we're really kind of just letting California handle that. We'll be in communication with them, but they'll send them back to an address in California, and that's where they'll alter them or tamper with them, and they'll put they'll take the gift card number from it, and then they'll take the PIN number, put them in the computer system, have the bots monitor them until they get a cash value on them.
Oh, and also I was talking to a couple people about this show yesterday, and they, they were asking me what I knew about it, which is obviously wrong, very little. But they also thought they may be making, bogus Target cards or bogus Home Depot cards. It's been, counterfeits.
Not that we've come across just quite yet. Our Burleson Police Department, we sent out a post, and we've been working with, Homeland Security, the FBI, HSI, all of those people. We haven't really heard about them creating fake gift cards, but I think, we're dealing with sophisticated, intelligent people who just know how to.
Well, if you
steal
think
from
about
people.
it, if you make bogus cards or whatever, sooner or later you'll get caught using one.
Absolutely.
You go put $100 on a, Lowe's card or something like that, and sooner or later their cameras are going to catch you.
Yes.
Well, and you also have to think, if you're making a bogus card, the amount of detail you got to put into it to make it look like and for it to work, you're probably spending more money than the value of what you're going to get. The reason why these gift cards have zero value on them is they're mass produced. So when you go to wherever Target's manufacturing these, they're being thrown out by the thousands, by the tens of thousands. And so their cost on them is minuscule compared to somebody trying to create a card that's perfectly barcoded, perfectly set up. The font is exactly the right. There's a lot of work, machine work that's done into these gift cards, and that's why it's so tempting to pull one off the shelf and to look at it and think, well, nothing's happened to it because it's sturdy. It looks like, you would have to rip off the cardboard packaging. They have this down to a science where these heaters that are using that are loosening up the glue and able to pull these out. So they're doing these by the tens of thousands. And as cards are coming in, they're tampering with them. They're getting the numbers. They're resealing them back together, and they're sending them back. And if I go to a Target gift card here in Burleson, and then you and I drive to Dallas and we go to a Target, it's the exact same packaging. So it doesn't matter if you're returning it back to the Burleson. There's no, not that I know of. Target, would be able to tell me better, but there's no serial coding that we know of that dictates this goes to this store. So as they're being shipped off, they're just generic gift cards, and you wouldn't have any understanding. The fact that they're on the shelf and they're not monitored because there's zero value to them, as they're sitting on the shelf, just kind of leaves them to have somebody come and pull all these off, and nobody thinks of it twice. Think about during graduation, how many gift cards you get. Yeah. So if somebody walks up to a gift card thing, pulls off 20 gift cards, you wouldn't think twice about it. You're just thinking, oh, it's a birthday or it's a celebration or they're doing something along these lines.
Time, yeah.
Absolutely. You come back 10 minutes later and all the gift cards are back, and you're like, well, the person must have just pulled off too many, or they decided against it. But what's happened is they pulled off the untampered and they replaced with the tampered, and you wouldn't know the difference just by looking at it. You really have to look deep into these cards before you would notice something.
Well, Detective, has this hit Burleson stores?
It has.
Right, which ones? Or can you tell us?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
We are doing an investigation, of course, with the Target. And then the only other one that I know of specifically that we have cases against is Albertsons. So, but that who's to say they didn't hit Home Depot or HEB or anything?
I was thinking, a lot of people would, Chick-fil-A is a very popular card. Starbucks is a very popular card. Things of those kind of nature.
Well, it's easier like Albertsons, Target, Kroger, they have a plethora of all of those that have, the Visa gift cards, the Lowe's gift cards, the restaurant gift cards. They have a plethora of all these things. So yeah, it's super easy.
I just was wondering, so let's say that I go to Target and I buy a tampered card, and as I put $50 on it, so I lost my $50.
You did.
But I may not know that for 2 months.
Right.
Because, it may be a gift, or maybe I just bought the card and I gave it to somebody, and that somebody didn't use it for 2 or 3 months. And then they go and go try to use it to buy something and find out there's nothing on it. And I'm ended up looking like a cheapskate, but that's not the only problem. But Target, they're going to be blamed for you sold us a faulty card or something like that.
Absolutely.
Where's my money? How did Target get a hold of this scam? I mean, because I guess maybe enough people started complaining. They said something's wrong with these cards, but still, I just, like I said, it's not an immediate purchase. So, how did they become aware that their cards were being tampered with like this?
So, to my knowledge, they were able to, I guess, their loss prevention was able to really review their camera footages. And now that the people steal from stores like that more often than not, I think that they definitely had a specific person, hey, we need to hone down on our thefts. And so they just saw suspicious people because, when you're going into a store and you're going to commit a crime, you look nervous, you're antsy, you and people hone in on that. And the loss prevention's trained very well. So they saw them on their surveillance footage and they said, this is weird. And they would watch and they'd say, oh my gosh, all of these people are taking our gift cards. And then a different person would come in and put them back on the shelves. And then that's how they started getting keen onto this, which was pretty recently. And I'm sure this has been going on for a while now, and we just caught up. So
I wonder if they're going to put gift cards behind the counter like they do other things. And so you come up and say, okay, I want 20 gift cards. They're going to say, let's see some ID or something like that.
So
sorry.
No, you're good. We've talked to and are in the process of getting together the different types of large market groups together and say, okay, AGB, Albertsons, Target, Home Depot. Here's our suggestions. And one of them is to put your large quantity, $100, $200, $250. Because, I mean, you can look at a $25, restaurant gift card, and they may say, that's enough of a loss we're fine with. But $100 and $200, I mean, you put on some of the video game stuff these kids buy, they're $200-$300 cards, Apple cards. Taylor probably loves a good Apple card.
Is that right, bud? You want an Apple card instead of money? Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
So, but we have our suggestion is to put them behind a case. And even now when we're talking to citizens, because like you said, you've been talking to people about this, our biggest suggestion is be cognizant when you pull it off the shelf and to look for certain signs. If you have any questions whatsoever, bring it to the front counter and say, I'm buying this, but I'm not 100% positive it hasn't been messed with. Always keep your receipt. We got a gift card. I did a wedding over the weekend, and they gave me a gift card for the service. And I thought it was real nice of them. Got the gift card, had the receipt tucked in the back of it, which is great because you're right. Sometimes it's 3 months before you use one. As long as you still have that receipt, because this is such a big named thing now, most of these stores will work with you as long as you have a receipt. If you don't have a receipt, you're what was the term you used a minute ago? SOL. Is that relevant still here? Yeah. So that one might come back up as well. But the larger gift cards, Walmart, Philip over at our general manager over at Walmart has said they started putting their larger numbered gift cards behind glass.
Yeah. Sooner or later, it seems like everything that's going to be accessible by the public in retail is going to be behind glass, like they have in San Francisco or New York. You can't even buy, shaving lotion without having somebody unlock the cabinet, apparently. But yeah, that's unfortunate. Now, hopefully, we're not at that point. Has Target brought you in and you discussed it with them what they should be doing? So
we actually worked with the loss prevention team for sure with Target, and Home Depot has been great as well. Not specifically that just quite yet, but that's definitely a conversation that we should definitely have. I mean, this was a potential almost $2 million loss for the citizens of Burleson.
Yes.
So we totaled all of the gift cards that we were able to apprehend, and I mean, think about it. I mean, $2 million is a lot for people that are just buying gift cards thinking that I'm going to gift it. It's a lot of money for this little town. Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot of money. Yeah, and also just think the embarrassment, the inconvenience, et cetera. You buy your nephew for, $25 gift card for something, for his birthday, and a couple months later he thinks his uncle's a cheapskate or something like that. He gave me a gift card that I haven't.
And how often, I'm not a very confrontational person. So, you know, if I get a $25 gift card and it comes up as zero, I'm probably just going to be like, I'll spend my $25 instead. Because I'm not going to call them and be like, hey, man, you know, what's up? So there's a lot of loss in that direction itself, but also on the same time, you give me a $25 gift card and you leave me the receipt and it doesn't work. And I go back to Target and I say, hey, this didn't do it. They put $25 on a card they pulled out from underneath the cabinet and give it to me. Well, now that's $25 loss on Target. So there's a loss no matter whether it's from your pocket or from Target's. And just us doing our national research and watching other news articles and paying attention, this is estimated to be about a $5 billion a year loss. So.
See, Taylor, when we teach you youngins a little technology, look what y'all do with it. Holy cow. You know? But, No, but when I go buy a gift card, almost always they're blank. I mean, I don't see, like at HB, I don't see like $100 cards. Now, I see them at Sam's.
There's a lot, actually.
Okay, I guess I just never spend $100 on a gift card, you know?
Well, and most of the time, I mean, the Visa gift cards and then Target, Home Depot, they have up to $500. So, I mean, when we look at the potential value of that for people, I mean, if you're saying, hey, you know, happy graduation, here's a $500 gift card, and you get it and you're like, it's empty.
Yeah. How is there a way that you as a consumer can spot this? I mean, or is it they do such a good job that, you know, if like now that I've been made aware, next time I go to Target or go to HEB for a gift card, is there any way I could visually say, wait a minute, this card's been tampered with?
Yes. So there is discrepancies, but you're definitely going to need to have to look. So particularly on the back of the gift card where the barcode is scanned, sometimes they'll put like a seal over the barcode where when you do check out, you have to take that seal off. That's usually gone. Sometimes it's not. If the card looks crinkled or it looks not wet, but it looks...
So when you're using the steamers and you're steaming cardboard, you know, that cardboard absorbs the moisture.
Yeah.
And so these things, these gift cards are manufactured with a huge quality control. So it's going to be smooth. It's going to be flat. If you get it and it feels wavy, it's very possible it's been steamed.
Or there's like air, like an air bubble in there. Definitely, if you're going to buy gift cards, which I don't recommend you do, but if you look at all of these things and then some of the ones that we saw actually, if you look at the specific serial number that you can see, there's numbers in the middle that are bigger fonted than the other ones. Those are tampered with as well. So like we also caught, and it's not just Target, Home Depot gift cards, they're Visa gift cards, there's Macy's, there's Sephora, there's a ton of other gift cards that are out there that are being altered as well that you have to look at.
Yeah, it's interesting. So maybe the stores, shouldn't they check on this as well? Are you going to be training store personnel to be able to look at this? I mean, because a lot of people don't know about this, like, or they misunderstood it like I did.
Right.
You know, they didn't know they were doing all this technology transfer. They were thinking it was just bogus cards. That's what I thought we were going to be talking about, is they're manufacturing cards and they were going in and buying stuff with it or something like that.
That's definitely something that I probably won't be, teaching other people, but that's, I mean, Collin's super great about notifying the public and getting with all of these people who, don't understand how this works. And, if they need to call, the police department and talk to somebody, they absolutely can call and talk to me or anybody that they need to. And then Collin has worked with Target and Home Depot to, say, hey, these are the suggestions. And if you do see stuff like this, they're altered, they're tampered, take them off your shelves. And Albertsons for sure has been doing that. If anybody comes in and they see people taking or putting back on, they'll take just the mother load. They'll be like, okay, well, we don't have any gift cards. Sorry.
Yeah, it's working with the industries individually is us coming and giving suggestions, but their corporate office is going to be the one that looks at it. Unfortunately, sometimes those corporate offices look at it and say, hey, we'll take a $2 million hit per year rather than spend $3 million in security assets.
That doesn't make any sense.
It does.
I know
To you and I, Brad, $2 million sounds like a lot of money to me.
Well,
but
it's not just that, not just the money. It's also the fact that they're basically, it's like being a tax on their business.
100%. But you and I we had just had that discussion about stuff being behind glass. So you can see how it sometimes takes these corporations it takes a lot for them to make a change. What we've done is, instead of us try to attack this on a national level, we've gone to each of the GMs locally and said, "Hey, man, here's our suggestions. Here's what we're wanting to do. If you'd like your staff to come in, we'll have our officers come in and teach you, show you what we're looking for. What are some of the signs? Here's some of the groups that we're looking at. Here's how to spot somebody taking something off." I mean, it's us trying to do it on a Burleson level and working with our local GMs rather than kind of going through the corporation and saying, "Hey, you should make these huge changes across the board." Because right now, the best we can do is to help our Burleson citizens, escape this.
Right. I know there's only so much you can do, but still, it'd be, for me, as a CEO of a big company, would I spend $3 million to save $2 million? That's a yes, because I want to defend the integrity of my company, and I don't want customers getting mad at us for selling them a bogus card. And that's who they'll be the first ones to be blamed. I buy a Walmart card, they're not going to say, "Oh, those Chinese nationals got me." Boy, they're going to be mad at Walmart, and they'll be dealing with the Walmart people. And I would say, just on my end, I wouldn't want them to get away with it, even if it cost me, for these mega corporations, an extra $1 million in security isn't a big deal at all.
Absolutely.
But you like to think their reputation for, integrity and service and whatever else is worth more than that. But that's their problem, right?
But until they implement those, we suggest going the e-gift card route. So go onto a legitimate website. So if you're going to get a gift card at Walmart, that always drives me insane that somebody walked past.
Oh, yeah, that's what I've seen. So.
I just noticed. I was like, oh, okay.
No, he has a camera at, you got to make sure Fletcher's working.
Yeah, he's a good old boy.
Yeah.
Go to the manufacturer's actual site. So if you're going to get a Walmart gift card, go to Walmart. If you're going to get something off Amazon, make sure it's Amazon certified. Go to Target's website. You can buy the e-gift cards there, and it's pretty much just a text message that says, "Hey, here's a $50 gift card. Here's your barcode. You scan it just like you would anything else." That is so much less likely to be tampered with. I mean, because you're going to have to hack Target in order to get through that. So that's our big suggestion, is to go the e-gift card route. There's this other thing that we suggest. I don't know if you remember these things. They're called cash. So
currency,
that's
what an idea.
Or like my mom would do is write you a check.
A check. Yeah.
Both. I know it's okay.
How many checks you've written, Taylor? You told us the other day.
Yeah, check.
I've never written a check in my life.
Never
Are
wrote
you
it.
serious?
Yeah.
I'm
Wow.
serious.
Have you ever written
Cash
an
only?
envelope? Like a letter.
Yeah, letter. Wrote a letter and put a stamp
Like
on
letters
it.
on my name?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
No.
Well, my son was here over the weekend, and we were talking about, I don't know, it's not this in particular, but he still has his original checkbook when he was 17 and opened an account over at Community Bank, which is now, of course, independent. But, he's still on the original book, and it's like his clowns and cowboys and stuff like that on it, because he writes so few checks in his life. He writes one a month.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll have to tell myself when I first wrote a letter, I had to call my mom, and I'm like, which side does the sticker go on, or the stamp? And she goes, "Madison, are you kidding me?" And I'm like, "No."
Yeah, you really?
Yeah, I
these-
did.
These youngins.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you.
But cash, what a concept.
I know.
I still like having cash. You feel like I got $20 in my pocket. I feel like a rich man. But I don't know.
I forget about that 20 in my pocket,
Yeah.
and then about a year and a half later, I'll open up my wallet to get something. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, when did I get $20?"
Yeah.
I know.
Do you
Making
use
it rain.
cash, Taylor?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. Listen. I'll ask you, Taylor,
I
because
stash cash.
you're the type that would use these kind of e-cards and gift cards more than a lot. Like Grandma, when she wants to give my kids gifts, or my mother, she writes them a check.
Right.
All right. And sometimes, there's you got to go deposit and all this other stuff. But Taylor, you don't write or receive checks. You do it all electronically, right?
Yeah.
Right. You have no concerns about that, right?
Yeah.
So you just Apple Cash everything?
Yep.
Now there it. See?
Well, and I also think it's, and I'm spitballing here. I think it's a good thing that we, talked about this as well, because if they did put the big gift cards behind glass doors or, behind the counter or whatever, we've also had a big skin with our older generation who, hey, this is your Wells Fargo bank, go buy some gift cards and then give us the gift card number. And they're like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
And so hopefully a Walmart employee would be like, hey, you bought just like $6 $50 gift cards.
That happened to my
Like, what's
grandparents.
going on here?
So
Yeah.
we went to Walmart the other day to go through their gift cards to see if we could spot some. And up on the wall, in good on Walmart's side, up on the wall is a gigantic digital sign, and it keeps rotating over and over and over. And one of the suggestions is, if you are buying Apple gift cards, and it gives this whole write-up on elderly scams. Where's this, who do you talk to? Talk to one of our associates about this. So this is being recognized by the companies. The problem is as we get out and we're trying to educate our older generation about this, Walmart can't stop you from doing it. So, Brad, if you show up and you're like, hey, my bank called me and told me I need $4,000 in Apple gift cards to send to an uncle that I've never heard of before, and you say, I'm buying this, they're not going to stop you from buying it, even though they know it's a scam. Same thing with your bank. If you tell your bank, send that $4,000 to this unknown person I've never met before, they're going to ask you a trillion times not to, but they can't stop you from doing it. So that's kind of our job, to try to get out there and educate our citizens on why these scams happen and how they do.
Well, I worry about my parents. My dad is... he has dementia. Okay, there's no other way of putting it anymore. It isn't like he's declining or he has dementia. And my mom is in good shape mentally, but she's physically frail. And I'm always afraid. My sister's always afraid that somebody's going to call them up, and my dad will answer, and they said, "Hey, you need to give us $100 for this." Okay, and give them all their bank account numbers and whatever. So it's I always wondered how these people fall for these things. But now I have a better idea why.
Yes.
And, even over the years, I've done stupid stuff like, click on this, and I just kind of, whatever, click, and oops, what did I just hit? I don't know what attachment I just let into my computer, that kind of thing. And so I could see how this happens, but still.
Taylor, can you pull up the Facebook post that we did, the scam alert one? So after the gift card scam kind of came through, we got a ton of we did a post kind of talking about the gift card scam, and I got a call from a Wakefield citizen that said, hey, these things keep popping up on our Wakefield neighbors Facebook page. These are just the simple look through, and hey, by the way, this is something that we offer, a reply to this. And so what we did is we went down, and we're getting these now on the daily. I'm getting emails to somebody saying, hey, somebody did this. So what we're doing is we're just breaking these down, going bit by bit through these scams to kind of teach people how to recognize them. And there's been a small amount that have pushed back and said, oh, well, this is just somebody trying to show their business. And it's like, that's absolutely wrong. They're not. If I have a small business, I want people to know my name. I want people to know my business name. I want a contact number. I want them to know I'm local. I want to promote all these types of things. But all these scams, they're pretty much the same. They run through the same things over and over and over. It's a immediate call. You got to do it now. You got to do it now because this ends tomorrow. Those types of things. And the moment you contact them, this is Andrew Perry, which is just a fake account. And Andrew Perry won't email you back or won't respond back to you. It'll be somebody else, and they'll be like, oh, I work for Andrew. And what I need you to do is I need you to click on this link, and then this link takes you to somewhere else and somewhere else. And before you know it, you've gone down the rabbit trail, and they're still in tons of money from you. It's a $3,000 cleaning service, and if you'll give us $1,000 up front, that'll lock you in on this deal. You send them the $1,000, and then you never hear from them again.
John at Old Pro says that's not an uncommon thing. After a storm go through, that fake roofing companies, not legitimate roofers, but these kind of scams, will say, hey, we're gonna be in your neighborhood. If you give us $1,000 now, we'll be able to get you in on a special deal and save you money and all this other stuff. And they have to deal with that. Now, these, again, aren't legitimate guys. These aren't, like Old Pro or other neighborhood roofing services. But sometimes these guys that go through the neighborhood knocking on doors, they'll say, I had one, I just shoot off my porch. It wasn't for roofing, it was for pesticide service, and I'm like, get out of here, because like if, for $100, we'll get you in a special group and all that. Like, I was born at night, but it wasn't last night, and so get out of here. And I almost called the cops, and I probably should have, but I live out in the country, so I don't know if the sheriff's department is going to spend much time on that. Yeah.
it never hurts.
Yeah.
It never hurts, Brad.
Maybe.
It never hurts.
Maybe so, because he's also a little aggressive.
Oh.
It's like, you don't want to miss out. You don't, I talked to all your neighbors. Well, good for them.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Well, I'll be the only one in the neighborhood without a new roof, I guess.
or
so.
the only one with termites.
Yeah.
Well, take my chances. Or whatever else. Sherry Scott here is talking about how a lot of people will call, people who have dementia, I guess, and say, "Hey, I'm your grandson. How you doing? How you doing, Grandpa? I need about $100 and whatever else." That's my fear for my parents.
Right.
Is just they're not going to be capable of distinguishing that, because my dad yesterday, well, he was over Saturday, all of them were, I had a big family thing, and he recognized us, but he wouldn't recognize my son unless I said my son was coming, because my son looks different. He has a big beard and a lot of long hair and all that. He wouldn't have recognized him, because it's been about 4 months since he's seen him.
Right.
So that's a concern.
Yeah.
So when you get also these emails, I mean, this is connected to that. If you take us up on this special offer, click this code, put in this bar number, whatever.
Absolutely.
And it's sad is that there's some legitimate businesses that operate like that, but they get and people call you on the phone that they're legitimate.
Yeah.
For trying soliciting, they may be bugging you, but they're legitimate businesses, and they're kind of lumped in with all these others that are just preying upon people.
Absolutely.
And that just bugs me.
It's sad to see that this is it used to be, hey, let's rob banks in the old West and run away with a sack full of cash, and now it's I'm going to send out 10,000 emails because all I need is 2 or 3 to click on it, and there you go. If I get 2 or 3 suckers that click on this link, boom, I've made my couple of $1,000s today. And it's just
there's some of these scams are really running into some money. What is this is assume a felony, but is it like a Class A felony or what?
Well, so in the state of Texas, we have misdemeanors and felonies.
Right.
Misdemeanors are going to be your letters, which is, C, B, and A. And then our felonies are, you have a state jail, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. And potential, or actually in my specific case, the 2 male subjects were charged with 3 first-degree felonies, which the time sentence for that is 5 years to 99 years with a minimum fine of $10,000.
But they could afford the fine probably, but
well, yeah, and so hopefully, when people look at this, and everything is based off either dollar value in the theft ring, and then in fraud, everything is based off of how much fraud you have.
They say these are state crimes. I would think also they're federal crimes.
If you cross state lines, then it becomes federal. Yes.
And in your case, you're talking about they were shipping them to California.
Yes.
And so that had to be a federal crime. Did you have to deal with the feds very often?
Not often, but I have been having them call me more recently, and I'm like, oh no, hello, how are you
It's
doing?
the FBI. It's the FBI.
No, but they're very nice, and working with them was great, and the profession that I have is making contacts with people, and so when we run into this again, because I'm sure we will, I can call them and be like, hey, it happened again, you ready to go? And they jump on.
Well, one thing a lot of people don't understand is that they can be charged with a federal crime and a state crime for the same act. They
can.
A lot of people think, well, if the state is busted, the feds won't. Well, they usually don't, but they can.
Yes.
And because it's not double jeopardy, it's 2 definitions of crime. And, so the same act can get you busted by both entities.
Right.
But usually, 95% of the time, they let the locals deal with it because it happened locally.
And that's what's happening here. So like this is our case. The Johnson County District Attorney's Office is great. We're ready to prosecute, and we're just gonna see where this goes.
Yeah. Well, then, have you talked to the new DA about all this?
I have not, but I'm excited to, give him some information and say, hey, if you need me, I got you.
Well, one good thing is, with the new DA, he's probably of a generation that would understand this better. Because my generation, like I said, I was only vaguely aware of what you were even talking about, and now that probably his generation of people have experienced this more. Tim has probably had it happen to him. Even.
Right. Yeah,
So-
and then also, I'm tasked with finding victims in the city of Burleson who have had this happen to them. So, if y'all have had gift card scams where you've bought a gift card and nothing has been on it, reach out to me.
Okay, how would they get a hold of you?
I have a cell phone number. And it's 817-426-9974 is my desk phone.
One more time.
817-426-9974. And then I have an email. I'm going to spell it, guys. Hopefully y'all can get this. It's MMARSTON@burlesontx.com.
Or you can call Collin.
Or you can call Collin.
Yeah, everybody's got my number.
Yeah, everybody.
so.
Yeah, I saw. Hey, buddy, I saw your picture in the local magazine last week.
You know,
big time star here.
You know, I'm doing my best to get to Hollywood.
That's
We're
right. I know. It's
Just one more notch in the belt.
Yeah, it had
so.
your picture. Was it Burleson Now he was in?
It was Burleson Now.
Okay, yeah.
A little spotlight.
Yeah,
It was
my
nice.
Look
wife
at you.
showed me. She sent me a picture of it and said, "Hey, look, one of your guests or big time stars. You're gonna take over." Well, that's fine.
Now I'm starting to look at consultation fees and appearance fees and stuff like that.
You'd be
so.
surprised how many people are from Burleson are involved in that. Do you remember a gentleman named Matt Downs?
Yeah, I do remember
He
Matt
does
Downs.
commercials.
No kidding.
Yeah, I
didn't know
remember.
that.
And he also done some, some walk-on work for TV shows like Last Man Standing. I saw him on an
very
episode.
cool.
And then
Yeah.
another time you just come there watching, and it was like a gas station commercial, Valero, I think it was, or something like that. He was on it, and then another was a sour cream commercial.
That's
He just,
crazy.
doing
Yeah,
his
Matt
thing.
graduated a couple of years before I did.
Yeah,
It's really
so
awesome.
you didn't like, whoa. Or one time in the Super Bowl, I was just watching, and I said, boom, there's a girl named Dion that was in my class, and she was on the commercial. Anyway, back to the important stuff.
Well,
See,
and to
this is
highlight,
what we do in Burleson. We reminisce a lot.
No, I love it. I'm glad.
but to highlight on what Madison was saying at the very end, because she's had this experience and because she's worked with the FBI and the federal side of this, I mean, as far as Johnson County is concerned, she's going to be the one that somebody in Cleburne, somebody in Keene, somebody outside that Johnson County area, because all of these gift cards are everywhere. And so when they run into this situation, Burleson's going to be the first place to call, and that's going to go right to Madison's desk. So
Yeah.
we've got a star in the making, a detective star in the making, and she's doing an amazing job with it.
Well, hope you stick around here for a while. The big city don't take you away.
No, I'm not going anywhere.
You're not going to go to Fort Worth?
We will
No.
let her.
Well, I hope not. I mean, I don't know, maybe some others pay more, but there's also a reason why they pay more. Yeah.
Hey, if my Burleson
Yeah.
Now clout would get her anything, then she'll have to stay.
Well, it's,
you know,
it's like the school teaching. I knew people that would move to Fort Worth to teach, but they'd come back because they say the extra money wasn't worth it.
right.
Because they wanted to be able to work in a community and actually feel like they were doing something.
Well, and Burleson's great, and the citizens have always made me feel very welcome, very, hey, you're doing a great job. And of course, policing is very thankless. So the citizens of Burleson have really actually been super amazing.
Well, this is a good town. And,
Yes.
we do a lot of nonprofit work. I got some. In fact, tomorrow I have Promises Community is going to be on tomorrow.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, and you can talk about what they're going to be doing in the fall and whatnot. And on the 19th of September, we'll have like a dozen of nonprofits for North Texas Giving Day.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's going to be lots of
That's
fun.
awesome.
But I have him on once a month, and also your friends at the fire department and I are working out something.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
no,
Yeah, no,
guys,
no,
love you guys.
Yeah, the thing, every community, the fire department, the police department, I have this little rivalry going. But I guess when the real stuff happens, that's all just put aside.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, we love those guys.
Casey, Chief Davis over there. I mean, they talk about salt of the earth. Is a good man.
Yeah, I
Good
ran
man.
into him at church a couple of weeks ago, and he's going to be on the show probably in September sometime.
Good.
They have to work it all out. And are you still doing the podcast for the police?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Well, actually, to throw a little line out there, we're going to have a Facebook Live happen. I hope this week. If not, it'll be first part of next week. We are still working on the fentanyl, the one pill kills campaign. We have a young lady who is a sister of one of our new officers, and she was in a relationship with a gentleman. They were both addicts at the time, and he took a drug that he thought was just that drug, the drug of his choice, and it was laced with fentanyl, and he died from it.
Good
And
heavens.
so we're going to interview her because she has a local tie with one of our new officers, but. We're wanting to kind of put some stuff together it's a little bit more raw, I think, than what we've done in the past. But it takes that avenue of being raw to really get people to understand that this stuff is real and it's happening in the Burleson area. It's happening to Burleson citizens. We're going to have an ER nurse from Texas South and Texas Burleson come in and talk about the fentanyl cases that they get that comes in. We're going to have some of our fire department, our ambulance drivers that are going to talk about it. And actually, Madison and I have talked about this. She's actually dealt with a fentanyl overdose before, and I'm expecting when I talk to officers and I'm like, oh, so you just sprayed the little Narcan and everything's good and everybody's roses and stuff. And then they go into detail and you're just like, oh.
No, I'm sure it's a frightening experience.
It's very awful. It's very awful. But, and I'm glad that the city of Burleson, especially the police department, gives officers Narcan, because sometimes seconds count and you can't wait for medics to get here. And I've had my fair share of fentanyl overdoses, and Narcan has absolutely saved every single one of their lives.
Well, Collin, can we do this next month on your next appearance, bringing this lady, or at least bring this program?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do that. Let's do the next program. Do the one pill kills, because, I just don't think even people my generation are really aware of what's going on. I talked to my kids, and they got a pretty good understanding of, the dangers of what's going on out there, and I don't know. I'm just getting so old, cootie.
I got to speak to a couple of the junior high kids working with the Reach Council and Reach of Johnson County, and the fact that they knew way more than I did and way more than they should know is just an understanding that, that it's out there. It's in our school systems. It's in our public. It's prominent.
I'll have Reach on next month because they're having a seminar in early September.
Yes, we'll be there.
And so, anyway, I'll let you have the last word. Why don't you fill us in on everything we should know in about a 3-minute encapsulation?
Oh, goodness.
You could do it. You could do it.
On the spot.
Yeah, right. No, if you, and we're not telling y'all to, don't go buy gift cards, don't be giving gifts out. It's just, if you are going to go to those places and you are going to do that, make sure you take the time to, hey, maybe not grab the first gift card that you can see. Go to the back of the stack. How about you look and, inspect this gift card that you are going to buy. Make sure you don't see any bubbles. Make sure you don't see any tamperings, alterings. And like Walmart does, ask an associate, hey, does this look tampered to you? Does this look right to you? They're the experts. And it's good that, in the citizens of Burleson's, to get this out there to let them know. And maybe not just the citizens of Burleson's, but, everywhere else.
Yeah, everywhere else. Oh, the vast listening audience, I call them.
Yes. Yeah.
I had one guy, not lately, but he chimed in from Belgium. I'm like, what do you want to know about Burleson over in Belgium?
Yeah.
But,
Love their waffles.
Definitely. This, and like we were saying, this is a national thing. This isn't a Burleson thing. This isn't a Texas thing. This is national. And we want to help as many people as we can. And especially if, we can help one, we can help many.
You betcha.
So.
Well, I appreciate you coming by.
Yeah.
You did great. See you.
Yeah, she did awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, first podcast, easy peasy.
Hey,
lemon squeezy.
one last drop. NBC 5 picked up on this story, and they're doing a huge thing for us. I want to say the last time I talked to the reporter, it should be broadcasting on the night of the closing ceremonies. So be out looking for that on NBC 5 and during their prime time right after the closing ceremonies of the Olympics. We'll be on.
Yeah.
Sherry Scott says, thank you for all you do. We do appreciate you for all your work.
Well, thank you.
Sherry's awesome.
Appreciate
she
it.
comments a lot on our Facebook stuff, so I appreciate that.
It keeps her out of trouble.
I don't.
Okay, well, we'll do our best. Anyway.
Yeah, right.
Well, tomorrow I have Promises Community on, and then Thursday morning we're going to do a 9:00 show, and finally Kay Goodell's going to be able to make it from the Cleveland Railroaders. She was going to be on the show last week, and she got stuck in the airport.
Kay's
Kansas
awesome.
City.
Met her.
Yeah, and so they got a lot going on. I don't know if I have their schedule yet, but I do know next week they have a whole series of home games. I know they have special events going on. I don't know if they're in town this week. I don't think so, but I do know next week they have several games from Tuesday through Sunday. I think they only have one night off during that stretch. I don't know who they're playing. We'll find out. We'll find out what's going on with the Railroaders. Lots going on. Thank you, Taylor.
Always.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Job, Tay.
All right, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Yeah.